Well, morning, Beau, the fifth column. You twit. Morning, Eric. It's 12:32 in West Coast time. It's November 2nd, 2023. Got your act regarding let's talk about what it takes to run for president. Oh, you missed it entirely. When you run as an independent against two powerhouses, in one aspect, you're definitely trying to drain strength. You got that right. But you forgot to put in an example for some of us old farts who actually understood what the hell happened. You see, dear madman, you forgot about the 1992 campaign. You ever remember the little guy named of Rice Perot? You had the elections going on during that time. And this was going with incumbent Bill Clinton. He was trying to fight off Bob Dole. I'm getting some information on this one. And Ross Perot was going to throw in his hat. Initially, Perot was draining votes. He was draining votes from the incumbent, Bill Clinton, and he was trying to drain votes from Bob Dole, but making Bob Dole a little more stronger one way because Bill Clinton was losing it. But somewhere in there, Ross Perot was cancels his campaign, gets back in the campaign, and goes nutty. It was conspiracy theories and God knows what else was going on him. And he lost his votes. He lost a lot and just dropped out like crazy. Bob Dole already had his voters switched, but he didn't have enough to defeat Bill Clinton. When you're running as an independent, are you running it for yourself or you really had a problem with the parties? And in dealing with RFK, and I'm not going to use the family name because that is a slur right now. Kennedy is a noble name. Unfortunately, the guy running it is ruining the name of Kennedy. That's why I call it RFK. He wants to drain off energy and voters from the Democratic Party, his intention. He said so himself a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. And he's trying to do a good job of that, isn't he? But if the polls are holding that Biden's still in the lead, it's not giving much energy or credence for a gas bag to try to win the Republican. But we got complications in this one, don't we? Old gas bag with his election fraud crap and whatever he was doing while he was in office. It's coming up to bite him in the ass more times than he can think about. And it's becoming a real messy election. But now you got the other guys in the Republican Party trying to climb up there. And some of them are actually crashing and burning even as we speak. One particular second, I'm going to put you on pause here. Okay, I just typed in, I wanted to get an atmospheric read on the GOP at this point. As of today, from the polls that are popped out there, I'm trying to see how far ahead Trump is, and he seems to be still holding the lead compared to everybody else. I was looking at Real Clear Politics polls. I was trying to find me another one here that actually says something I can actually look at. I want to take a look at the charts and stuff. they actually got charts and stuff. I mean, that's what I like to see. And I got to check it out for the Democratic as well. I just want to see those poll numbers to see how they're faring up. Because I want to see it. How popular is Biden compared to Trump, I wonder. Alrighty. How unpopular is Joe Biden from yesterday's poll? Well, a bit, 50-50. With the situation happening in Israel, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. They're not exactly happy with Biden over what the hell happened in Israel. But he's holding his own. And so is Trump. Two strongest candidates we've got. Everybody else is well behind in the polls. But the corporate media out there will be getting more information when they're willing to share it. Current news cycles, and you know that one. And you're also talking about the money situation. Yeah, it kind of surprised me when that guy said he wasn't going to support Trump. He would want him in jail. He might as well out and out say it. If he's been supporting people that badly. Yeah, it takes a lot of money to run the office. It takes a lot of money to do that kind of situation. You need the big bucks. You need the big corporate people because you need to explain it to the people that in order to have that money, there has to be an expenditure. There's expenses that you're using that money to purchase. Ad time. In every state. Media focus. You're trying to get voters in. You're trying to get them enticed. So rallies work. And it costs money for those damn things. Transportation. Not to mention housing and office space. That costs money right there. But mostly it's advertising and media that eats up the profits. Of course, when it comes down for the general election, that's a different story altogether, isn't it? But just to get to the primary hump, you need those big corporate donors. And yeah, Trump was doing it when he actually had the money, but now he doesn't. He's dropping way fast. And he doesn't like it because he likes to keep his money. And I was hearing on I think NSNBC, they were doing something about his family. I mean, this one, MSNBC was really going after Trump and his family at this point. How dysfunctional they are. If you happen to show how much dysfunctionality that they actually have and put it into the media channels and throw it up as ad, ooh, there goes public opinion right out the wall. So why doesn't RFK do something like that? If he's so hot under the collar concerning about both parties, if he's going to be running against the elitism, which means he's going after Biden and he's going after Trump, but basically Biden, because he thinks he's elite. Biden's been in the office for a hell of a long while. Speaking of which, you hadn't said anything about Tommy Tuberville during this process here. We have a comment on his damn near had a heart attack, or probably has a heart attack. He's trying to do two jobs at the same damn time, and he's having a conniption fit because Tuberville is having a conniption fit. I hadn't seen the Republican Party nor the Democratic Party engage in private conversations of sorts with this asshole. Yeah, I'll publicly call him an asshole. Well, if it's proven that he's got a residence in two different places, but he's representing one of them, I mean, he's supposed to be representing the great state of Alabama, and yet he's got purportedly has housing and lives in Florida. Tax records and other records are coming up showing that one. At least it's being reported all over progressive media, not to mention the other independent channels. They say they got the records. They found out about it. Tuberville is lying his ass off there, Beau. And he doesn't care. Who's pulling his strings? Is it him alone? Why hasn't his constituencies jumped on his ass on this one? Why hasn't his voters, his supporters, jumped on his ass for this one? Screwing up with national defense right now, screwing up with our personnel. He says, oh, everybody else is fine. We're just worried about the lower people at this point. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're doing it because you're an asshole and you love it, and that's what you're doing. You're just being an asshole about it. I'm surprised the gentleman hasn't had any stronger criticism from his constituents and other voters, blasting out all the phone lines and emails left and right. I'm surprised. I guess our country has gotten softer regarding its democracy. What do you think, Eric? Have we lost our democracy? Have we lost our mojo? Have we lost what it is to be Americans? Think about that one. Of course, you say, oh, it's only election season. Well, then every year is going to be election season. Every year we're going to be facing more and more challenges like this one, because I hadn't seen anything. Well, I haven't seen anything up to this level yet, and it seems like it's getting worse and worse each year, each election cycle. I've seen some Jim Dandies growing up. I didn't understand one damn thing about it. A few things still stick in my head. Civility is out the wall. No, it's splattered against the wall right now. We have no civility when it comes down for politics. Everything's open season right now, so it's, well, welcome to real politics, isn't it? Imagine what it was like back in the other days when the country was still forming its core and we had elections. How much civility did they have back then compared to now? And you think we're reverting back to those kind of behaviors? How about that one for food for thought?